Have you ever wondered how the Indian judiciary sometimes steps beyond its traditional role to enact societal change? This curiosity leads us to the concept of judicial activism. In the heart of India's democracy, the judiciary, traditionally a guardian of the constitution, sometimes takes an extended role. It becomes an active participant in promoting justice, equality, and societal reform. This proactive approach, known as judicial activism, is a fascinating component of India's legal landscape. So, let's delve into the intriguing world of Indian judicial activism. The seeds of judicial activism were sown in the early years of the Indian Constitution. In the dawn of the Indian Republic, the Constitution was viewed as a sacred document, a guiding beacon, and the judiciary played the role of its custodian. This period, from the 1950s to the mid-60s, was marked by judicial restraint. The courts were largely deferential to the legislature and executive, honoring the doctrine of separation of powers. However, the late 60s and 70s brought a shift. A wave of social and political changes led to the emergence of judicial activism in India. The judiciary began to interpret the constitution in a broader manner, using its power of judicial review to uphold the rights of the citizens. This was the beginning of an era where courts started playing an active role in shaping the social and political landscape of the country. The evolution of judicial activism in India can be traced through key events and cases. The famous Kesavananda Bharati case of 1973 marked a turning point. The Supreme Court, in this case, propounded the basic structure doctrine, asserting its power to review and strike down constitutional amendments that violated the basic structure of the Constitution. This was a bold step, a clear departure from the era of judicial restraint. The 80s saw the rise of public interest litigation, another cornerstone of judicial activism. It democratized access to justice, allowing any citizen to approach the court on behalf of those whose rights were violated but could not approach the court themselves. This era brought forth landmark cases like the Bandhua Mukti Morcha case, which highlighted the plight of bonded laborers and led to significant legal reforms. The 90s and the new millennium witnessed the judiciary taking up diverse issues, from environmental protection to gender justice, further expanding the scope of judicial activism. The evolution of judicial activism in India has been a journey filled with landmark cases and significant decisions. It has transformed the role of the judiciary, making it an active participant in the quest for social justice and constitutional morality. It's a journey that continues to unfold, shaping the destiny of the world's largest democracy. Several notable cases have shaped the course of judicial activism in India. Let's take a journey back in time to the year 1973, to the historic Kesavananda Bharati case. This landmark verdict set a new precedent in the Indian judiciary by introducing the doctrine of the basic structure of the Constitution. The Supreme Court ruled that while Parliament has wide powers, it did not have the power to destroy or alter the basic structure of the Constitution. This case significantly expanded the power of judicial review in India and has been instrumental in maintaining the sanctity of our Constitution. Moving forward to 1978, we encounter the Maneka Gandhi case. Here, the Supreme Court expounded a new dimension of Article 21, relating to the right to life and personal liberty. The court held that the right to life is not merely a physical right, but includes within its ambit the right to live with human dignity. This case marked a departure from the narrow interpretation of Article 21 and expanded its reach, paving the way for the recognition of several new rights. Fast forward to 1997 and we land on the Vishaka case, a groundbreaking verdict that shaped the discourse on sexual harassment at workplaces in India. The Supreme Court in this case laid down comprehensive guidelines to prevent sexual harassment, providing much-needed relief and protection to working women across the country. These cases have not only redefined the contours of law, but have also had profound impacts on Indian society. They have given a voice to the voiceless, upheld the dignity of individuals, and ensured justice in its truest sense. The judiciary, through these landmark decisions, has effectively used its power to fill the legislative vacuum, protect fundamental rights, and uphold the rule of law, thereby playing a pivotal role in shaping a just and equitable society. These cases have left an indelible mark on the Indian judicial system and have significantly influenced the course of judicial activism. Judicial activism has had profound impacts, both positive and negative. On one hand, it has played an instrumental role in protecting individual rights and promoting social justice. A case in point is the landmark judgment that decriminalized homosexuality in India, a move that was hailed worldwide for its progressive stance. Judicial activism has also carved the path for public interest litigation in India, empowering citizens to seek justice not just for themselves, but also for the public at large. This has led to significant social and environmental reforms, ranging from the protection of forest rights to the improvement of living conditions in prisons. However, on the other side of the coin, judicial activism has faced its fair share of criticism. Detractors argue that it often leads to the overreach of the judiciary, stepping on the toes of the legislative and executive branches of the government. This, they claim, can potentially disrupt the delicate balance of power that is fundamental to a functioning democracy. Moreover, some critics highlight the risk of subjectivity, as judicial activism often hinges on the personal interpretations and beliefs of the judges. This could potentially lead to inconsistent verdicts and a lack of predictability in the legal system. Furthermore, there's the argument that judicial activism can sometimes lead to judicial adventurism, where the judiciary might overstep its boundaries and venture into the domains of policy making. This could result in a blur of constitutional lines and a potential threat to the separation of powers. Yet, it's important to remember that these criticisms do not nullify the significant contributions of judicial activism. They are instead reminders that, like any tool, judicial activism must be wielded responsibly and with caution. It's about striking a balance between upholding justice and maintaining the sanctity of the separation of powers. Judicial activism, like any other concept, has its pros and cons, and it's essential to maintain a balanced approach. Whether you see it as a beacon of justice or a potential threat to democracy, one thing is clear. Judicial activism has and will continue to shape the socio-legal landscape of India. The realm of judicial activism continues to evolve in contemporary India. Today, let's explore some recent cases and ponder over the future of this remarkable phenomenon. First, let's look at the Sabarimala temple case. In this instance, the Supreme Court upheld the rights of women of all ages to enter the temple, a decision that sparked a nationwide debate on tradition versus equality. This case is a reflection of the changing societal landscape in India, with the judiciary championing the cause of gender equality. Next, we have the Aadhaar case, where the Supreme Court upheld the constitutional validity of the Aadhaar Act, but also highlighted the importance of data privacy. This case is a testament to the judiciary's role in balancing the need for social welfare schemes with the individual's right to privacy. A recent environmental case, the Delhi air pollution case, is another instance where the judiciary intervened to protect the citizens' right to a clean environment. The Supreme Court's directives to the government to take immediate action against air pollution is a clear demonstration of the judiciary's proactive role in environmental activism. Now, let's talk about the future of judicial activism in India. With the ever-evolving societal norms and technological advancements, the judiciary is poised to play an even more significant role. For instance, issues like cybercrime, digital rights, and artificial intelligence will require judicial oversight and activism to ensure the protection of individual rights and societal harmony. Moreover, the judiciary will continue to play a crucial role in preserving the democratic fabric of the country. By acting as a check on the legislative and executive branches of the government, the judiciary ensures the upholding of constitutional principles and values. In conclusion, judicial activism is not a static concept. It is dynamic, constantly adapting to the needs of the society and the nation. As we move forward, the role of judicial activism in India's democratic setup continues to be of paramount importance. The journey of Indian judicial activism has been an intriguing one, filled with landmark cases and significant impacts. We've traced the emergence of this remarkable facet of the Indian judiciary, from its humble beginnings to its evolution into a force that has shaped India's legal landscape. We have delved into landmark cases, each one a testament to the power of judicial activism in addressing issues of social justice, environmental protection, and human rights. Each case is a story of how the judiciary has stepped in to fill legislative or executive voids, often becoming the voice of the voiceless and the protector of the marginalized. We've also navigated the impacts and criticisms of judicial activism. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? On one hand, it has brought about significant social and political changes. On the other, it has faced criticism for being overly intrusive, for overstepping its boundaries. Balancing the scales of justice and power is no easy task. Looking ahead, we've considered the future prospects of judicial activism, the role it will play, the challenges it will face, and the transformations it may bring about are all part of an unfolding narrative. As we continue to explore and understand the intricacies of judicial activism, it's clear that its role in the Indian judicial system is both crucial and transformative.